Yep. I'll just leave this here. Wait here. So then turn it a little bit this way so I'm not, but I want you to see this.
Stable.
Yeah, I just don't want to
right
be.
there
Okay.
and be out.
Thank you. Perfect. Hello. All right. I am going to get started because I know you guys have somewhere to be, and I want to respect your time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us for part 3 and 4 today. The birthday guy. The birthday guy. We can't say anything to the birthday guy. So if you guys recall, in part 1, we talked about organizing the debt, right? In part 2, we grounded our relationship with money into what? Biblical principles, right? Now in part 3, we're going to talk about different strategies, different systems that we can help to allow our money journey to be more digestible, okay? So our agenda for today, our first activity will be the dream big, write big checks. Then we're going to connect that to the bucket list where we start with the end in mind. We start whatever your end goal is. We're going to start with the end in mind, okay? The journey to financial recovery, the true price of your financial future. We're going to go over paycheck budgets versus living paycheck to paycheck. Financial report cards, you guys already are familiar with the Breakthrough Blueprint. A comprehensive financial snapshot, which is a money system. And then the automation and synchronization of your money, which is also a money system. Okay? So, I always like to start out with looking at finances from a macro level, a huge level, right? So, on the weekend, how many of you guys are familiar with this? Are you guys familiar with the U.S. National Debt Clock? No? Okay, so I like that. So the U.S. National Debt Clock, guys, is actually a clock that tells you how much debt the United States is in. Okay? So, as you guys can see right here, the United States national debt, more than $37 trillion and counting. You see how numbers are consistently going up? Now, if you look over here, you see where it says debt per citizen? That means it will take each and every United States citizen to pay $109,144 in order for us to get out of this debt. Now, that includes your infant grandchildren, infant babies, okay? Each and every United States citizen, that's how much it would take. Now, if we're talking about only taxpayers, so now we're not talking about the babies anymore. Only taxpayers, it would take each of us $324,123 individually for us to pay off the national debt that we're in. Okay? So I want you to make the connection. This is why we're feeling inflation. This is why everything is going up. They have to get the money from somewhere. Where are they going to get the money from? Us. Okay? So what you're feeling is not made up. Okay? I hate that this is blocking our view. It does this on a weekend, which sucks. But we're going to work through it. As you guys can see, this is just national. That's just national debt, okay? This here is just national. This is total. You see right here, down here, 104 trillion, 434 billion, 220 million and counting. That's total debt that the United States has, okay? It's blocking a lot of things that I would love for you guys to see, but I'll talk you through it. So on this side here, which they are blocking, you're able to see and compare. how much houses were in the year 2000 versus how much houses are today. The average house in the year 2000 was $167,000. Today, can you take a guess? The average price of a house? 420,000, right? But they also show you the wages that people earned in the year 2000, which was like 30,000, right? Now those wages are 43,000. Not a big jump, right? But a big jump in other assets, right? So this is why I want you guys to be able to connect what you're feeling, what your family and friends are feeling financially to what's happening in the United States, okay? It's all related and they have to get the money from somewhere, so they're gonna squeeze it out of us, okay? Now, you guys know I do not fearmonger, right? We're gonna use this information to still focus on our dreams. We're gonna use the information that we just went over as fuel for our dreams and our goals, okay? So the name of this activity is called Dream Big, Write Big Checks. And the goal of this activity is to help you to future forecast, right? We know where we are today, but we want to focus on where we desire to go tomorrow, okay? So the way we're going to do it, I want you to think about a goal that you have for yourself. Whether it's for you, your family, your community, think about a big goal that you have for yourself. And it has to be a future goal. It can't be something that you've actively already achieved, okay? It has to be a future goal for the future version of yourself, okay? You're gonna need a future date, okay? And you're gonna need to attach a number to that. So what does this look like? Let's say, for instance, my future goal was to buy a house, right? I say, okay, this is 2025. I would like to buy a house January 1st, 2027, right? And the house, I know the average cost of houses are $420,000, but remember I said I want you to attach a number to your goal. Whatever number you attach to your goal, I want you to multiply that times 2, okay? We call that your nervous number, okay? That's the number that you feel in your stomach and it makes you almost question if you can actually reach that goal. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to stretch you. So if my future goal is to buy a house January 1st, 2027, and the average cost of a house is $420,000, I will multiply $420,000 times 2, okay? So we're gonna fill this out together, okay? Now, first thing I want you to come up with is your goal. Now, more than likely, everybody already know what their goals are, right? Someone said, Okay, so we're gonna start from the top. You see where it says date? I want you to write the date for the future goal. Now remember, this is a future date for the future version of yourself. You are going to pay yourself for completing this future goal, okay? So you're gonna write the date. It can't be tomorrow. Then where it says pay to the order of, you're going to write your name clearly, boldly, and confidently. This is an activity, but it's also a promise to yourself. And remember when I told you I want you to come up with a number. I want you to multiply that number times 2 and then write that number in this box right here. Whatever number you came up with, multiply it times 2 and then write it in the box here. All right? Now, as you come under here, now you're going to literally write in that number. You're going to write it. So let's say it was $1,000. You're going to write $1,000. It's not $1,000. Let's say you're going to write, but you'll write $1,000, okay? Now, where it says 4, you're going to write your goal. Where it says 4, you're going to write your goal. And last but not least, where it says authorized signature, you're going to sign your name clearly, confidently, and boldly. How we doing? All right. Now I want you to take out this paper. Right? And we're going to take out this paper and we're going to transfer. That was part 1, okay? That is actually a mindset exercise to help us to stretch our minds. We want to future forecast into the future and focus on the things that we desire, not on the place that we're in right now, okay? So on this page, you see where it says my goal? You're just going to write your goal right there.
That's page 15 at the bottom. 15, 14 at the bottom.
Yep, that's it. No, not the first one, the one in the back. Yep. Wait, back in the back.
15 is page 15 at the bottom.
Yeah, yep. But that's it right there. But turn it on the other side.
Step 1.
Yep, that's it. So on that side, you're going to write your goal. Again. Step 2, you're going to write the date that you wrote on a check. And step 3, you're going to write down one action step you can take to achieve that goal. So using my example, if I would like to buy a house January 1st, 2027, the first thing I would focus on doing is assessing my finances. Whether that be a budget, right? Having a budget, checking my credit score. It doesn't have to be anything major, but we have to write out the steps that we can take to reach the goal, okay? Just one. And then you guys can add additional action steps as you move forward. Now remember, a huge part of goal setting is accountability, right? There's research that shows just having a goal, you are 10% likely to achieve it. Deciding that you'll do it, you're 25%. Setting a time to do it, 40%. Making a plan for how to do it, 50%. Telling someone else you'll do it, 65%. Having a specific accountability appointment makes you 95% more likely to achieve your goal, okay? So that is the QR code for our free private invite only accountability group chat if you do not have an accountability partner, okay? And at the bottom, we just have different screenshots of people inside of the accountability group chat so you could kind of get an idea of what's happening in there, okay? It's like we have one here. She said, hello, everyone. So this weekend is overtime. Visa card paid off. Finances done in advance because of working overtime. Will finish my homework for meeting with me. Continue posting and enjoy my vacation week home. Here, good morning. Quick trip to Jersey. Work 95 hours. right? No PTO, right? Good morning, my soul needed this fill whole, all my empty love buckets are overflowing. So they're doing a lot of work in here, and they're getting, like, you have people cheering you on along the way because they can identify what you're doing because they're on the same path, okay? All right, every single step that you take, you come in last week, you signing up, registering for the program, you coming last week, you coming back this week, you're being interactive, you're following the steps. Each and every step you take counts, okay? And don't forget, this is not a sprint. Nobody cares how fast someone pays debt off, right? That's not the important part. The important part is that you're able to lay a solid foundation. You're able to have support along the way, and you're able to sustain this journey, okay? So every single step counts. Now, when we talk about the hidden costs, right, I want you guys to think of a time where you purchased something and the sticker price said one thing, but when you purchased it, it was something totally different. Can someone give me an example? Car. That's the first thing I was thinking of. Your car, right? So how are we able to find out the true cost of ownership? Whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's student loan, whether it's a credit card, how do we find out the true cost of ownership? And the reason why this is important, if you guys remember back a couple of slides, when we just looked at the U.S. national debt clock, they've already counted how much it costs you to pay back the debt that the United States owed. They already counted that, so we don't have the luxury of not counting the cost, okay? So each QR code that you have here, you guys can look at those later at home. We're gonna go over one now. Which one do you guys wanna do? The credit card, the student loan, or the car? Let's do the student loan. Y'all was too slow. All right, so now, as you can see, what's vitally important, guys, you have to know your numbers. This isn't gonna work if you don't know your numbers. It's not gonna be helpful if you don't know your numbers, right? But if you know your numbers, this will be very helpful. Let me show you how. I'll use my numbers. So I said my student loan was $111,722.47. Yes, I count the cents. They don't, but I do. My loan term initially was 25 years, right? My interest rate was 5.375. Okay? So now I calculate. So this is saying if I would have kept that loan term for 25 years, every single month for 25 years, I would have paid $677.47 every month for 25 years, right? Now listen, here's the tricky part. I told you my student loan debt was how much? $111,722, right? But what's the total cost of the loan? $203,227.32. So the debt was not $111,722. Would I have known that if I didn't count the true cost? There's no way I would have known that. They did. They knew that, right? This is why it's important to figure out the true cost. I would have paid $91,000. Well, let's just round it up, $92,000 in interest, right? This is why it's important for us to not only know our numbers, but to know how to calculate the true cost, okay? Now, this is also, I want to show you something also though. Let's say, okay, that's what I signed up to do. But what I actually did was this. This is what it looks like when I was done. I did some finagling, right? And I'll talk about it a little later, but I don't want to jump ahead. I'll tell you guys what I did. I said I signed up to pay it off in 25 years, but I saw an opportunity where other people did not see it. I saw an opportunity, so I put my head down. I focused for 3 years. That's the loan term, right? 3 years. And then I refinance, which I'll go into deeper details later. I refinance from 5.375 interest rate to 2.5, right? Now look, the total cost of the loan, $116,080, right? And in interest, I paid $4,358.22. Is that a better deal?
Absolutely.
It's a better deal, right? So now that's part one. Part two of this, you always want to click on your amortization schedule. What is the amortization schedule? Is anyone familiar? Yep, the amortization does just that. It gives you the total cost, but it breaks it down. Every single payment, it breaks it down. You pay $50 a month, it's going to show you how much went to the interest, how much went to the principal, what your balance is, how long this is going to take you. Okay? It breaks it all the way down. So if we click on 25, we can see we only had 3 months left in this year, so it's only going to show us 3 months. But if we click on 2026, you can see what I'm talking about, right? January, this is the balance, right? Let's go up here so you can see. So this is the payment. Let's come right here. This is the payment, right? This is my payment. This much went to the principal. This much went to interest. This is the total interest that I paid. This is my balance. How could this be helpful for someone who has multiple loans? This could be helpful for someone who has multiple loans because you could put your numbers, you could plug your numbers in and see which one you're able to save the most money from by paying it first or last. So you want to play with the numbers, okay? Now, I would like for you guys to watch a video before we go into the paycheck budgeting. And as you watch this video, I want you to be able to tell me what resonates, what doesn't, right? What you've experienced, what's missing, things of that nature, okay? One sec. I think I need to put this here. That's a commercial. One sec, guys. Can you hear it? I know it's low, but can you hear it? Sorry about that, guys. It's hard to hear it. So, do we have any super savers in here? At any point where you're a super saver? Okay, we got any super spenders? Okay. Okay, so guys, on the video they talked about lifestyle creep. What's an example of lifestyle creep you feel like you may have experienced? Lifestyle creep. Have you guys heard this?
Getting a raise and deciding that, oh, I got a few extra dollars, I can buy a new car. Yes. So when I graduated college, I cannot tell you how many people asked me if I was going to get a new car, if I was going to move, if I was going to get a house. You guys saw how much debt I was in, right? They didn't know that. And some people did it. It's different for everybody, but I knew I couldn't take all of that on, right? So this is a paycheck budget, okay? This is a paycheck budget, guys. We already budget by paychecks. This is a budgeting strategy, okay? Now, I think you guys should have a copy. Yes. You got a copy? Okay. So that is a paycheck budget. You guys already budget by paycheck. So this is nothing new for us, right? I just want to give you a strategy. For it, okay? So typically how it works with our paycheck budgets is that we say, okay, my income, I work as a school nurse, right? So you just I'll write in school nurse. When we talk about budgeting, the reason why it's important for you to do a paycheck budget before you get paid is because you want to pre-plan how you're going to spend the money. Not when it comes, you want to pre-plan how you're going to spend it, okay? So, right, you want to know how much you have coming in, right? And you want to plan for how you're going to spend that. So if we look over here, this is savings, right? Every pay period, I contribute to an emergency fund. I want to say I have 9 months of an emergency fund, but COVID taught me that 3 to 6 months is not reasonable anymore, right? So I have 9. So every month I'm still building it, right? So I put my emergency fund here, any other savings I put here, and I calculate how much am I saving, right? This is before I get paid. I'm doing this. Then I go to reoccurring bills. Now, if you look here, you'll see reoccurring bills and then you'll see expenses, right? The difference as it pertains to the paycheck budget, your recurring bills will be what? Give me an example of a reoccurring bill. Utility bills. Give me an example of an expense, a one-time expense. Car breakdown, right? Somebody's birthday, right? That's the expense. You want to pre-plan these things because when it comes, you're going to be like, I don't have enough, right? Pre-plan it. You already know what you want to do.
Emergency savings are two different.
No, your emergency fund can be so when I'm referring to my emergency fund, that's a savings account, right, for emergencies. But then I have sinking funds. We're going to talk about those a little later, but since we're here, right, I use cash envelopes, right? I use the physical and the digital. The digital are sinking funds. They call them sinking funds. Those are the things our ancestors already used. They're just the envelopes that you write on it: rent, car, food. It's a system, right? And I have several of those because I like to separate the money. I don't like everything at one place because there's a high likelihood that you'll overspend, right? And then we come down to debt. You already know you're making debt payments, right? Pre-plan. Once you do your paycheck budget, you're able to see, oh, wait, I'm negative. I got to readjust. I got to modify things. Don't wait until you get paid to come to that realization.
do your paycheck budget ahead of time, okay? And you guys can scan the QR code to see how this is actually done. It also comes with a video of me walking you through the process step by step, okay? This is what we call a cash flow compass. This is super easy. You have different categories. If you click on it, you'll see rent, utilities, transportation, right? You see all those things here. And you can even add, if something is missing, you can add something that you might, let's say, what can we add? What do you guys want me to add? Anything. What you say?
It's already up there.
Oh, vacation? Okay. So basically, guys, all this is saying is to do your paycheck budget before you get paid. Okay? Plan out how you're going to spend your money. Okay? So you guys are familiar with the Breakthrough Blueprint. Is there anyone here for the first time? First time? No? Okay, who can tell me what the Breakthrough Blueprint was about? In your words. Organizing the debt. The Breakthrough Blueprint was about organizing the debt. The only thing that's different here is I want you to add your credit scores. I want you to see what your credit scores are, just so that you can see where you're starting from, okay? So in your own words, what are credit scores? In your own words, what do they represent? How you pay your bill. So it has nothing to do with who you are, right? Or how you feel about yourself. It just tells you how you pay your bills. You might have a really high credit score when you're in a really good season, or the credit score might drop if you're in a in-between season, right? But it has nothing to do with who you are as a person, right? It's important to remember that.
That's what we say. That's kind of what the world says. They see low credit score.
Yeah.
You can't get a car, you can't get a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Your interest rates will be higher if your credit score is low. But I want to drive home the fact that it's not a reflection of your self-worth, okay? So this here, guys, is another way that you can organize all of your finances. By show of hands, raise your hand if you have to log into multiple accounts to see different balances, whether it's your savings, checkings, debt, or you want to log in? Okay. So this is an app. It's called Empower. I use the free version, but they have free and paid versions, okay? Now, the way that this app works is that it allows you, the way that it works is that it allows you to put all of your, that's crazy, why it's not coming up. That's it. Oh. I'm like, got it. You see how it has multiple verification? Okay. So I just need to verify that this is a safe space again, because I'm going to let you guys see my numbers. This is a safe space, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh. I think we got action. Okay, so this is something that I found on my debt-free journey. This has been so helpful for me because it allows me to see everything pretty much in one place, okay? If you guys look here, I get to track my net worth, right? That's here. Now, if you look,